Channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with this week's edition of Shit Talking Saturday, y'all know this is the segment where we talk shit, swallow spit on um, entertainment news, gossip, and current events going on in the world. Also, we do add in a sprinkle of political news from time to time, and we will today too. Okay, so with that being said, child, let's just jump right on into the stories. I'm gonna start with this story I found last night. I was down there on the Facebook, and someone shared it on their page, and um, I wanted to come in and talk about it because at first I wasn't gonna say nothing because I was like, well, it involves a baby, and it's kind of heartbreaking to me to talk about stories where little kids are being affected or they have been hurt in some kind of way. And it definitely is hard with this story because not only was this baby hurt, this baby died. Okay, we're talking about a daycare worker was captured on video torturing an 8-month-old baby who later died. Now this whole name is Leah Walden. She's 23. She was charged with murder, assault, child abuse, reckless endangerment in the death of Reese Bowman, which is 8 months old. Police was called to the daycare facility that she was working at on Tuesday after a report of a baby not breathing. Medics arrived there and they began to perform CPR on this baby, but the baby was transported to the hospital where she was pronounced dead a short time later. There were no obvious signs of trauma to this child, but of course, an investigation was ensuing, right? And upon investigation, this lady had told them that this Lee Walden woman, she said that she had fed the baby, wrapped her in a blanket, and put her down for a nap. However, as they began to investigate this story, they looked at the video surveillance, the surveillance footage of what goes on inside the daycare, and the footage showed her using excessive blankets, which to cover the child up all the way, including over her head. She was seen violently snatching the child out of the crib by one arm. She was swinging at the baby as if she was slapping her in her face, and it also showed her placing blankets, pillows over that child's face. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I got one of the most forgiving hearts in the world. I can pretty much forgive anything. Okay, what I can't forgive is a person who you trust to take care of your child, a trained so-called professional, and this is what you give us. You sit here and you hurt this baby like this to the point where this child dies. No, ma'am, no, sir. There ain't no forgiveness for me in my heart yet. I ain't that good of a Christian or a spiritual person, whatever you want to call me, for me to understand why would a person do that to a baby. If you don't like your job, get you another one. If you don't have the patience to work in a field such as being a daycare worker or a child care provider, then you need to find you something that works for you. Because what we don't do is we don't hurt children we don't hurt children period, but we damn sure don't hurt them to the point where we kill them. That's heartbreaking, and I hope that she receives the most severest form of punishment that she could possibly have. But I can promise you, whether she get a whole lot of time now, she black, she going to, child, she going to, we ain't going to even have to worry about that, but we going to go on and be politically correct and just say, if this woman don't get a lengthy sentence, ain't nowhere in the world she going to ever have a moment of peace in her mind. Because she took the life of an innocent child for no apparent reason other than being evil. Just evil. Rest in peace to little Reese. What that baby name was? Reese Bowman. No, her name was I don't know, I had a child name right now. I said it one time, didn't I? Reese Bowman. Okay. Yeah. Rest in peace to that sweet angel that returned back to God too soon. That's sad, y'all. I hope she get the extent. It just seemed like Every day we wake up, it's something else going on in this world that makes you just lose hope a little bit more. You know, it's a sad affair when you okay, when you the type of person that can hurt a child and not have a problem with it at all. That speaks a lot about your character. Rest in peace to that child, and I'm gonna be trying to keep up with this story because I want her to do whatever she deserves to die. And I don't never say that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm not the one. I can't give life. I ain't got a right to take now. But in this situation, this baby had no one to help her, no one to speak for her. I just don't know. I don't know. I want to know more. I want to know, what's the process of becoming a daycare worker? Do they go through like your background? Do you have to go through a mental eval? Things like that, because this was uncalled for. This was a senseless killing, and I can only imagine what her parents must be going through today. So my prayers go out to the family of this child, and rest in peace to this child, and burn in hell to Lee, whatever her damn name, Lee or whatever I said, Walden. That's her. Okay. Now let's move on. One of the DC snipers, Lee Boyd Malvo, had his sentence overturned by a federal court judge this week. The sentence was life in prison without parole for the sniper-style killings that went on in October 2002 around, I think it was around the D.C. DMV area or whatever. He did this along with John Allen Muhammad. They killed 10 people, injured 3 in a 3-week period of trying to kill folks. Okay, his lawyers used the Supreme Court ruling of Miller versus Alabama, where the court ruled juveniles are constitutionally different from adults for purposes of sentencing. Layman's term, they feel like if you young, you stand a greater chance of not reoffending and being able to be rehabilitated. It also says that you have a greater chance of, your culpability diminishes as you get older. Okay. Uh, Culpability. So because of that, they are deemed less deserving of severe forms of punishment. Child please. Judge Raymond Jackson agreed with the Supreme Court ruling of Miller versus Alabama and made his ruling to vacate Malvo's sentence. Now, the prosecutor who helped prosecute Malvo in 2003 said the Virginia Attorney General can appeal the judge's ruling. If not, they will personally pursue another life sentence because he feels Malvo definitely meets the criteria for the harsh punishment that he received, and I'm more inclined to believe that. Now, the Virginia Attorney General's office has stated that they are reviewing this decision, and they will do everything possible, including appeal, to make sure he served the life sentences he originally received. He's 32 now and being held in a super maximum security prison in Virginia. His co-defendant, what his name was, John Allen Muhammad, he was executed in 2009 for those killings, but this boy is still alive. Y'all set up and basically targeted people. I don't feel like his sentence should be commuted. I don't feel like he should receive a lesser sentence. He locked up and that's where he needs to stay. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope and pray that they are able to, appeal this decision. He don't need to never see the light of day again, and he don't need no mercy, because where was the mercy for the 10 people that he killed and the 3 others that were severely injured? Where mercy is shown, mercy is given. There was no mercy given to those victims. It should be no mercy given to this boy, and that's all I have to say about that. We're going to keep this thing moving. Ariana Grande posted an open letter for her fans, praising them for their resilience and announcing that she plans to return to Manchester for a benefit concert to raise money for the victims and their families. She said in this letter more details would be released as plans are confirmed. Okay? Y'all remember the suicide bomber, 22-year-old Salman al-Beatty detonated a bomb toward the end of Grande concert, killing 22 people and injuring up as many as 59. She canceled all of her shows all the way up until June the 5th. She's supposed to be on this tour over there, but she will resume touring on June the 7th. So everything that was scheduled for her to do from, I guess, this week on to June the 5th, she canceled, and she'll be back on this tour June the 7th. It was also, I read somewhere where she had actually said that she would be paying for the funerals of these 22 people that lost their lives. What I want to say about that is, this ain't that girl's fault. That's very noble of her, and I can imagine the weight that she carries on her shoulder right now as she think about people, innocent kids, because that's who she appealed to. That's her audience, young teenagers, children. And I can imagine the weight that she must be feeling on her shoulders right now, that these kids have been hurt and a whole list of other people injured coming out to see her. Although she has nothing to do with this suicide bomber, it happened at her event. So even though she's not involved in what happened, she is involved. One, she could have been hurt herself. Two, they were there supporting her. So I can only imagine what that lady must be feeling like. And I was so disappointed in human beings when I went down there on the Twitter and they were down there just tearing that girl apart. She ain't got nothing to do with a extremist who decides they want to take the lives of innocent children. Clearly kids are not off limits. We've been knowing they would. But how do you hold her responsible for that? The fact that if she indeed is paying for the 22 victims that were killed funerals, that's a blessing, and it's a beautiful act on her part, because she could just be, not worrying about it at all. Y'all don't think this girl went through something? That's what I didn't understand about the attacks that she was receiving on Twitter. You didn't think that this girl went through something? She has, like I said, lived with the fact that at her event, when her fans came out to celebrate with her, some of them never went home again. So that in itself is a weight on her shoulders. And people that were coming at her talking about she ain't been down to the hospitals to visit the victims. How about maybe she ain't even in a mental state where she could do that? Because they said this girl has been almost inconsolable and hysterical since this happened. People always want to find somewhere to lay blame. How about we just pray for these people? Got that country over there, now they on a high alert status for terrorist attacks. I mean, people telling Justin Bieber, because he's had some concert dates coming up over there, he shouldn't perform, but I don't think he's canceled as of yet. It's just, you got to use sense, people. You got to use some common sense. And you can't honestly tell me you want to blame this girl for that. Rest in peace to the 22 people that lost their lives in this tragedy. Our prayers and thoughts are with the 59 others, including Ariana Grande, that was involved in this. It ain't nothing you can do. I mean, what can we really do? Try to find them. That's the best we can do. And 45, that condolences that he gave, boy, I tell you, this man got no tact at all. Now, we experienced tragedies here in the United States during the Obama administration. At least he had some couth about himself. Obama knew how to go and, sit with the families and speak very eloquently, his thoughts of condolences and stuff toward these people. The way 45 did his gave me the idea that he wasn't all that, sorry about, this incident in itself and how it has devastated families over there. It was like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting on. This further my agenda against the Muslims. And all Muslims are not extremists like this. So you cannot blame All Muslims, what is? It's sad affair. Well, we live in my grandmama used to say, we living in our last days, baby. I believe that we truly are because more and more things are occurring that it's just devastation to the nations for real. Anyway, let's move on. Jared Kushner, that's 45, son-in-law and the senior advisor. We found out this week that he spoke with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. about establishing a secret communication channels between Triumph Transition Team and Moscow, supposedly to discuss strategy in Syria and other foreign policies, right? This conversation included Kushner, the ambassador, and none other than Michael Flynn. It took place at none other than Trump Towers. Michael Flynn was supposed to speak directly with a senior military official in Moscow, but it was never set up, and they all claiming like they don't know who proposed this communication channel. It's somebody down there at the Washington Post that really don't feel 45 in his administration because they break every piece of news that they get. They got an inside leak somewhere in there. However, it's caused questions to come about now. So we side eyeing Jared because we already in the midst of a major FBI investigation into Russia's attempt to disrupt uh, the presidential election of last year, and if Trump advisors were assisted in any kind of way. Okay, so now what it looks like is everything, all the puzzle pieces are starting to come together. We getting piece by piece. In a minute, we're gonna be able to put that shit together and figure out exactly what went down. And then what make it even more suspicious, y'all wanted to set up these channels of communication, but you wanted to do it in a way that the American intelligence system would never catch up with it. So if this was just about Syria and its foreign policies, why are y'all trying to make sure nobody but the Russian side of this conversation would be able to detect what's going on here? Why were y'all hiding this information if nothing was going on, if nothing was illegally going on? Y'all believe me if y'all want to, and you don't have to. That man is in cahoots with them Russians, and that's how he got into the presidency. They helped him win this election, because I know a bunch of uh, middle-aged white women went out there and voted for this man. I know the sticks came out in bunches. Probably ain't never been down to the polls in the last 10, 15 years, but they was there last year to ensure that this man got in. Now, that was only part of it. In my heart of hearts, I seriously believe that the voting system was manipulated to cause him to win. That's simply how I feel about that. But that's all I have to say about any type of political news or anything like that. I don't like to get too deep down here because y'all know YouTube don't play with us about this shit. But that's what's been going on. Apparently, he was a part of this conversations that were supposedly going to be having between the Russians, and him and Michael Flynn was a part of it too. Okay. But now everybody acting like they don't really know that much, which is causing folks to look at him sideways. And I'm sure now he's on the investigation for this as well. But I'll be keeping up with it, and if I don't get it, Beautiful Soul Speaks will get it. Y'all know I've told y'all about her before. Check out Beautiful Soul Speaks. She does blog news. She breaks this shit down way better than me, and you get an idea of what's going on. That's her thing. She like talking about this stuff. Now let's move on to entertainment news, okay? Karen King announced yesterday that if her surgery goes well, she will indeed be at the reunion taping on the 30th. She had said earlier this week that she had not been texted an invite. In fact, she was texted not to come by the producers. I guess something changed. Maybe it was some public backlash. I know a lot of people was like they wanted her to come, myself included. And maybe Mona Scott and the producers of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta agreed with us because she was extended an invitation. And yesterday was her, I think, 58th birthday or something like that. But she told us on a IG Live that she would, in fact, if her surgery goes well that she's having today, if she comes out of that surgery okay and she's able to, she will try to make sure she's at the taping of the reunion because she don't want to let anybody down. So that's the update from the news story that I gave you a couple of days ago when she announced that she wouldn't be on there. I haven't heard anything about Tommy other than the fact that she is saying she done with Love and Hip Hop. That's a decision she made. If that's true, then I trust that she know her better than me, so she do what she got to do. I personally would like to see her on there because I think that this could be a stepping stone for her. But if she don't think that she can, contain herself and she just too damn out of order, then yeah, girl, go on. Don't let this show make no fool out of you. Okay. Stevie J and Joseline Hernandez was having a meeting at Season 52 restaurant in Atlanta with some lawyers when Joseline got angry with Stevie and threw a bowl of hot mushrooms at him, prompting his lawyer to call the police. Now, I don't think she went to jail. However, Stevie J said that he's urging Joseline to get a psychological evaluation and some anger management, and he said she needs to do that ASAP. Child, okay, here come the conspiracy theorist in me. What if, now follow me, what if, remember, she done said all this shit, and everybody, including me, been trying to figure out. I know y'all go back and forth with one another. That's what y'all do, apparently. But what if he played the game? Get this bitch back in, let her think it's all good between us. And now if it make this bitch look crazy, I'm gonna take this baby from her. Now I'm just saying if that may not be what the case is, but wouldn't that be a stank ass comeback? Because he's basically doing that. If that was what he's doing, he on the road to getting that to making her look just as crazy as she needs, something in my eye, look as crazy as she need to look so that he can get custody of little Bonnie Bella. Wouldn't that be some shit? I always said Joseline and Stevie, when they good, but when they bad, they real bad. And I really wish that they would just choose to let go of the relationship aspect of the thing and just focus solely on co-parenting. They don't need to do no business together, nothing. Just give him a child support amount he need to be paying every month and let him pay that. Because, girl, it's too much shit going on. That's crazy. Safari, as I like to call him, Samuels. He tweeted a few days ago that he'd like to go on Ariana and let her fix his life. Well, Ariana heard him and she responded that someone would be contacting him soon, beloved. So, look like Safari might be on some future episode of Ariana Fix My Life. How y'all feel about that? Bitch, I'ma watch. I am. I might even review this shit. I don't know. You know what? I like Safari though. He a cool little cat. He a little corny or whatnot, but he seemed like a good dude. I don't know. Nikki might have fucked up letting it go, child. I don't know. But will you be watching? Y'all get an opinion. Tell me if y'all gonna be watching it. Anyway, let's move on to Adrian Ballon. And the cast of The Real invited Naturi. I don't know this girl name that well, so if I'm getting it wrong, please forgive me. Y'all know the girl from Power. Naturi Naughton on. And during that interview, Adrian apologized to Naturi for stuff that happened when they were in the group 3LW. Apparently she had apologized before, but she publicly apologized to her in that moment. And that didn't sit well with the former manager of 3LW. I guess during that interview, Adrian had stated something about being afraid of their manager at the time or something like that, because this woman went on a Twitter rampage. Okay, this woman she did more than 45. Child, she sent so many tweets out. One of them, she added, Adrian and the tourist said the truth will set you free. I guess you'll always have alternative facts. She added them again and said, luckily for you that Keely Williams is not a petty bitch and not spreading all your dirt. Fake former friends, hashtag. That's what she did. Then she added Naturi Naughton and said, exactly what did we do to you? What is she apologizing for? We put you on and you spent years talking trash about us. She went on to say that you fight fire with fire, especially when people have been talking smack for years. She called both of them fake and hinted that there would soon be some exposing of the lies, okay? She also said that Adrian continued to be managed by her for 4 years after Naturi left 3LW, and stated that if she was afraid, how is she afraid when she continued to stay up under my management? She said skin color was never a factor for Adrian. Oh, she said a skin color was never a factor. Adrian fake as fuck, and to claim she was afraid of her, yet she lived with her. She said Cheetah Girls ended because of naked pictures of Adrian surfaced and Disney wasn't having it. She said something about sleeping with married men behind everyone's back for years. I assume Adrian is who she was referring to with that. She said a lot, child, and I'm gonna try to link Famous article down below where you can go back and see all that crazy shit she said. Let me tell you something. Apparently, you do have that manager. First of all, unprofessional as hell, lady. If you managing people, and what I understand, you have a new group that's coming out. And here's the thing: it used to be a dark skinned girl in this group. However, when y'all got y'all, I guess y'all a moment to come up because y'all gonna be on something on BET. Okay, and so now that y'all starting to come up and get a little recognition, how about the dark skinned girl is no longer there, being replaced with this high yellow girl like she got a little Asian black in her? Some What it is I believe y'all did something to that girl. Y'all didn't like that girl because of her skin color. The manager got an issue with colorism. I don't know what her problem is, but she does. And then, like I said, for you to be somebody's manager, a position, a professional position, you on Twitter going ham, turkey, and cheese, no baloney, bitch. Why? If you feel like a you ain't never did nothing wrong to her, and they on there apologizing to one another, she was apologizing to Natura, why didn't you just remain silent? Everything that's understood don't have to be explained. If you know in your heart you didn't do nothing, then why did you even bother to tweet? But your Twitter fingers lead me to believe that you have lost your fucking mind, and that that girl said y'all did to her, you in fact did do. I'm gonna link that down in the middle, in the description box down there. That was some bullshit to me. That was some utter bullshit. I mean, tweet after tweet, and then you exposing people, telling tea and stuff, talking about y'all was friends for what, 13, 14 years. A lot of secrets was told. Well, bitch, go to the grave. I hate people like that. Y'all know I do down here. I can't stand it, bitch, because we ain't clack-a-lacking no more don't mean I'm not going to hit below the belt. Now, if you hit me, I'm going to hit your ass back. But secrets that y'all shared when y'all were in a good place with each other should go to the motherfucking grave and not to the motherfucking Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. It shouldn't be there. But see, that's how immature a lot of people is. First time they get mad at you, they want to tell every motherfucking thing, and then they don't never tell the full truth. They only tell you half of the story. They don't mention nothing they did, but they gonna put all your shit out there like you done did something wrong. Fuck this bitch. I don't have no patience for that. Notori, you is on, bitch. You look cute with your little pregnant bump and everything. You got that show power you on. Continue to stun on them hoes. That's what I say. And fuck Adrian too. Cause bitch, let me tell you something. You's a loud hoe too. For you to sit here and say that Monique, just because she was loud and boisterous don't mean she right, bitch. Oh, you loud all the time when you right. You know, I know your job is to bring news and things like that. You got to, but girl, it's a way that you say stuff is not to get your ass drugged. Monique didn't drag you. She basically told you if you feel some kind of way about what I did, you welcome to invite me and my husband down here. And for people that say that Monique's husband always in her business, he's her manager and that's her husband. That's her equal yo. Only a single bitch would feel like that. Of course, I don't think that he's trying to destroy her career because hell, he lived with her. If she ain't making no coin, I'm sure that affects him as well. I don't know what happened with this woman, years ago when Precious came out or whatnot. All I got is what y'all got, okay? I don't know what happened, and none of us know what happened behind the scenes. Apparently, something happened behind the scenes that has deeply affected her, and people talking about she just not, she's starting to bring that shit back up. She never let it go. I've seen her say this on several occasions. She ain't never let that shit go. Only thing happened was when she told them all to suck a non-existent dick, it was somebody there that was recording that night, and it became a top story again. It went viral again. Y'all started hearing it again, but she never stopped talking about it. And I say this right here: it's a right and a wrong way to do shit, and everybody had a breaking point. I personally, like I said, probably wouldn't have did it the way she did. We would have had a meeting at the round table with all these motherfuckers if it would have been me. But I'm not Monique. I don't know what she's been through. I don't know what was said or done to her behind closed doors. So who am I to sit here and say how she's supposed to feel? That's one thing I can't stand. You don't have the right to tell a person when they should be okay about a situation. If you tired of hearing it, stop clicking on links and articles that talks about that subject, because some of us are listening and waiting to see what the result gonna be. If she never works again in Hollywood, I think at this point she alright with that. Remember, that's not all she can do. Monique has the ability to make a bitch laugh their ass off, and I can't say they didn't wrong her. I don't know. We don't know what was said to this woman behind closed doors. All we know is what was been brought to light so far. So, in the words of the crew I used to fuck with, bitch, sniff and sip and shut the fuck up. Let this woman do her. If you don't want to hear it, like I said, nobody's forcing that down your throat. It kills me when I go to different articles and I see the comment section and people talking so much shit. If you got that much to say, then what you need to do is don't pay attention. Anything that get on my nerve, I don't pay no attention to it. I really don't. I pay it dues. But people love to have something to say. Just this crazy shit to me, child. Now, two teachers down there in Stone Mountain, Georgia, decided they're going to get into a confrontation, a physical fight in front of their class. You can see on the video, kids were shocked and begging them to stop. This happened at Stone Mountain Middle School. The kids tried to break it up, but they were unsuccessful. So staff had to come in and separate them. Now the parents of the children that attended school is calling for these women to be terminated, and I would agree. You can't conduct yourself like that, especially on your job that involves children. You done lost your job behind that foolishness. Don't make no damn sense, y'all. It really don't make no sense. I don't know what to say about that. Charlie, you would have had to make me real mad for me to come there strong. I ain't lying. You really would have had to do a whole lot for me to get that kind of out of myself, out of my pocket. What if you lose your damn teacher's credentials? Over what? Over what? A disagreement that you done had with another bitch. Y'all should have took that shit somewhere else. Y'all could have met up somewhere, in a park or somewhere and had y'all fight. You know what I'm saying? Why would you do this and traumatize the students and jeopardize what you done went to school and took tests and all that shit there for? My head getting me the food today. But yeah, that's what the fuck was going on with that. I agree. They should lose both of them. It was a teacher and a teacher's aide. Both of them should lose their job. You don't know how to act like an adult in front of children, then you don't have the right to be able to teach children anything, okay? And that's how I feel. That's honestly how I feel. Now, lastly, before I roll up out of here, I had a love thing that emailed me, and I told her I was gonna, I wasn't gonna put her name out there, but she basically was asking me how did I keep going last year. Y'all know last year I had a tumultuous year. I lost my business. People I thought were friends proved themselves to be not friends, and I had a series of things going on in my life last year. And the lady asked me, how did I make it through? Because she going through it now. She just lost her business. And her husband of, I think you told me 9 years, you and him have separated, and your best friend now have turned her back on you and you don't know why. And you just felt like wasn't nobody listening, and by some happenstance you came across my channel and you wanted to know, based upon binge watching my channel and seeing the things that I've been through, how did I make it? Here, sometimes a song will say it better than anything else. Never would have made it. Never could have made it without you. I would have lost it all. But now I see how you were there for me, and I can say never. Be encouraged, sister. You don't never get nothing put on you that you can't handle. You understand what I'm saying? It may seem like you can't deal with it, but there's nothing that God gives us that we can't handle. We are some strong, resilient people. To you I say, and to anybody else listening to this video, watching my face right now, you stay encouraged. If you believe, you believe. You pray about it, and you get up off your knees as if it's already been taken care of. That's how I continue to make it. You don't let nobody and nothing stop you from moving forward in life. That's how I made it. I never lost my faith. And I encourage you today, don't lose your faith. Remember, the depth of your struggle will always determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to share this video, rate this video. Your rating can help me get in rotation and my videos will be seen. Comment down in that panic section. I'm always here. My email address is always in that description box. Yes, I have a full life. You know, I got eggs. I got a nephew that been taking me through it, but he's on the road to recovery. Thank you for the prayers and all of the concern. But don't lose your faith in this. Don't lose your faith because it's being tested right now. That's all it is. You just being tested, okay? It's time for you to, you're on the verge of a breakthrough of some kind. And the devil want to make you stop. But thank God for YouTube and the fact that you found me and was able to reach out to me. It ain't going to be easy, but I promise you, every day will get a little bit easier. Stay encouraged, love things. I'll see y'all for the next video. I'm going to do that review y'all asking for. Y'all have a good Memorial Day weekend. Don't be out there drinking, driving. Don't be your ass out there around people that's doing that. And I need each and every one of y'all that's watching me now to return to this channel on Monday alive. Because you can't come if you did, bitch. And I want you to be in one piece and in good spirits. Y'all have a good weekend. And if don't nobody else tell you they love you, I do love things.